T.O. The Phans look real, you know it's a deal. There's blood, sweat, and tears all up in his huddle with water to cook up a meal. My coaching into it, the combo was chill. Play action to chase, got hunger to feel. The cheetah is loose, he's going for blood. The end of the race only went for the kill. Miami, the city, the county, the block. We steady impact, tail dead in the lot. Defense was strong and hard as a rock. Holland's a lock, and next one's a spot. Getting too hot, so turn up the fan. You look to the crowd, see Jimmy and Bam. Martin, Joe, and Sosa the mans. Your fellas, roll the clip, only fans.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to OnlyFans, a Dolphins postgame show presented by Sports with Sosa. I'm your host, Joel, and before I bring on the rest of the cast, I want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop a like, leave a comment. It helps us out here on the show. And now, without further ado, I got the team with me. I got the host of Sports with Sosa, my man. So, what's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? 4 in a row.
4 in a row, baby. We're going streaking. I told you it wasn't a fluke. But we are also joined by our boy Martin from Tune Out and also from the All Fin podcast, available also on YouTube. What's going on, Martin?
Loving it, man. Loving it.
Oh, yeah. I see you cheesing over there ear to ear, bro. Big win,
it's a
boys.
Good day.
Big win for us, man. We come back home. We had a 2-game road game stretch there where we had back-to-back wins in Chicago and Detroit, and now we come home to take on the Browns, and we got the dub 39-17. What are your guys' initial reactions? I'll start with you, Martin.
I don't think it's the dub. I think it's how we got the dub. First half was all running. Second half continued. We saw a little spark with Hill and Waddle, but that San Francisco run game, not even the Miami Dolphin run game, those backs. Thank you for that transfer. That's all I got to say.
Nah, you know what? It is the Miami Dolphins running game, bro, because it gets so much more benefit because of the great passing game that we have right now. And I'm with Martin, bro. Today was the first day that we got a full, complete game on all three aspects of the ball. I texted it to you guys earlier. We got a good game from the offense, a good game from the defense, and somewhat good game from special teams.
Yeah, those missed extra points from Jason Sanders are really starting to add up, man. And unfortunately, we're far enough ahead where they don't matter. But going into the later half of the season after this bye week, and hopefully talking about playoffs now and the playoff picture, it's not reassuring to have our kicker that we signed to a long-term deal a couple of years ago missing extra points like that. So I'm glad you brought that up. But overall, yeah, hell of a game, guys, hell of a performance. I think finally we got to see what we've been wanting to see as far as the run of the ball, right? We had Jeff Wilson go 17 carries, 119 yards with a touchdown on the ground. Raheem Mostert followed that up, 8 carries, 65 yards, and his own touchdown. I mean, this is what we've been crying about all year long. We wanted to see more of this, and not only did we see that, but we also saw how that was able to just complement the passing game for Tua and gang. And yeah, it was quiet for Waddle and Tyreek Hill today. Waddle was 4 for 66. Tyreek was 5 for 44 with the touchdown. We call that quiet around here because we're used to these guys putting up over 100 yards, right? But at the end of the day, when Tua's connecting with 2, 4, 6, 8 different receivers, including running backs, as far as who he's throwing to, I mean, you can't ask for more, can you?
No, and you know what? The game definitely has to put the Tua hate to complete rest. Third game in a row.
This one?
No, yeah. One. I mean, dog, if you're waiting for the other shoe to fall off as a hater, it's not going to fall off. Third straight game where he has 3 touchdowns, no INTs. In these last 3 games, he's 75 of 89 for 77%, throwing for 969 yards in 3 games. Like MVP shit, So, there's no more to a debate. How good can he be? What levels can he take this team? He's QB1 for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely, man. No, I completely agree. I mean, how big a fan I am of number 1. Martin, talk to me, man. What do you think of his performance?
I'm not saying that little by little I'm not seeing what I wanted to see, but I'm sticking to my guns that I'm being realistic. I need to see a full season. Half a season isn't enough for me, and that's just me. That's just the way I am. If I've seen 2 full seasons of what we saw the last 2 seasons, okay, I'm not talking about the coach. I'm not talking about the offense we had. I want to see a full season before I give you, hey, I'm no longer, on the other side saying, hey, I need to see more. I need to see a full season, and then you'll see my opinion change if this continues. That's just where I stand.
All right, I'll say fair enough. I get that you want to see the full season, the full result, but
And
you
it's
got
not that I'm.
go ahead.
And it's not that I'm saying this week by week. I'm saying this is before the season started. I'm like, I want to see a full season. So who am I to say now, halfway through the season, all right, it's over? I never mind what I said. No, I'm sticking to my guns.
Yeah, you're gonna stick to your guns. I totally get that, and Tua's gonna make you eat your words just like he's made everybody else eat their words because the kid is on a tear, man. And I want to get into some of these plays that some of these touchdowns that we had in this game. He made some beautiful plays to set guys up in the end zone. The first touchdown that he had was over to Ale Ingold. We were texting in the group chat. Phenomenal pump fake by the kid, man. Just totally catches the defender, gets him jumping up out of his shoes, and is able to just kind of like step through it and just kind of make a nice little dump off over to Ingold. Ingold, hell of a play to catch the pylon, set us up for our first touchdown, which we needed after the Browns came out, guns blazing with their touchdown of their own. That was nice to see Tua, you know what I mean? Seeing that pressure in his face, adjust to it, and not be afraid, hit him with a hard pump to get him to commit, step into it, make the throw, and then get us that touchdown and get us back in the game.
No, I think it was probably his best game as a pro, right? Because we didn't see him make like stupid throws. We didn't see him trying to force the ball too much. He on that play, like you said, he made that quick pump to get himself some extra time. And again, I just felt like this is how good Tua can be on a week in, week out basis with the type of running game that we had. Anytime we can run the ball for over 180 yards as a squad, like, come on, dog. Any quarterback is going to look good, especially a super accurate quarterback like Tua is.
If you ask me, this is the best offensive game we've seen from our team since he's been here.
For sure.
To have 180 yards, that's 100 more than we've averaged all year. And then for him to, be able to sit back, let the run game go, and then come in on those third downs that we just needed those yards and come up with 285 yards and 3 touchdowns. That to me was what I really wanted, and I've been saying it all season. When we get that run game going, you're gonna protect him. You're gonna get the offensive play action going, and this is what I can't miss saying. The O-line has looked great these last 3 weeks.
That's a great call up.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's exactly where I wanted to go next on this. I think I'm looking at the stats now. It says we only allowed 1 sack. I don't even remember that sack, to be honest with you. But the O-line, man, shout out to this cast, man. From Teron Armstead over to Robert Hunt to all these guys, man, have really been stepping it up. They've really been protecting Tua, and they've been opening up and creating space for these running backs to just glide through, man. Jeff Wilson on that 4th and 1 that we talked about, that ballsy 4th and 1 on our own side of the field. And McDaniel says, you know what, we're going to run it up the gut with Jeff Wilson. And Jeff Wilson explodes for like 4 or 5 yards past that first down to keep the chains moving and keep us, going. O-line, man, that couldn't be possible without the O-line. So I'm glad you brought that up, man. That's a huge shout out to them right there.
Absolutely, especially with the questions that we had coming into the season, right? We signed Teron Armstead, and it's like, all right, is he going to be healthy? Is the rest of the O-line going to gel behind him? And look, he's been an amazing player for us every game that he's played. Very few mistakes, and has really put I don't want to say he has put the line on his back, but has built some type. But no. What it is really like him building chemistry and getting the rest of the guys to do their job.
Yes.
Because he's so great, right? It's like, I'll take the double team. You guys just handle your own and we'll be solid.
I think he's elevated everybody else on that O-line.
1,000%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm on both sides of what you're saying. I do feel he has put the O-line on his back, but he's also brought us together as a unit. Because when he's not there, you see where our weakness is. When he's there, I can't tell you where the weakness is because there really isn't.
10 games in, man, and he's still healthy. Like, that's a really good sign for us.
He's actually playing hurt with an ankle and a calf. So, bye week, hopefully he gets rested.
For me, being healthy means, like, don't even practice throughout the week. Show up Sunday, do your job, and we'll take it.
I agree.
Yep. But again, they set up Tua. They gave him time to throw. And I gotta come back on the Tua train, guys, because this is a big Tua episode right here because he just again had a hell of a performance. Another sequence that I wanted to shout out was right before the first half came to a close. There was a third down where we needed a big first down to keep the chains moving, keep us alive, and he put this ball out in the corner over close to the sidelines over to Jalen Waddle, only where Jalen Waddle was able to catch it and extend for the first down. Amazing throw. Immediately right after that throw, he puts a money ball into Trent Sherfield's breadbasket in the corner of the end zone to put us up 17-7. Dude, I don't think I've seen a prettier pass from Tua this year.
No, for sure we have. But it's so nice. It's so nice to see him do it consistently and make it look so effortless. You know what I mean? Because it's not like he's struggling or throwing hard. Nah, man, this dude is like feeling relaxed. A lot of times he's throwing over the middle. It's like a smooth transition, nice and easy throws, and he just feels so confident in this offense. And why wouldn't he, right? With the way that these guys are making plays for him, you mentioned Sherfield. Gesicki has some big catches. Bolzer caught the ball out of the backfield. Wilson caught the ball out of the backfield. Like, everybody did their part to help Tua continue the rhythm on offense, right? And that just made him feel even more comfortable.
For me, we had mentioned a little earlier that 8 different receivers caught a ball. There was, I think, like 4 or 5 with 4 catches.
Yeah.
When the hell do you see that?
Yeah.
And on top of that, to Sherfield, bro, he's been that safety blanket for him. Waddle and Hill are just on another level. That's another thing. But Sherfield is last 3 weeks I've seen. It's really nice to see what and the blocking from the receiver. That's something I know. Our O-line's blocking, but you see upfield as the running backs get to the second level, our receivers are there to block with them, I just love the run game, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
No, and exactly to your point. Let's bring that play up, which was Jeff Wilson's run, right? I think it was a 23-yard touchdown run or something along those lines. I'll pull that up now. But on that play, you have Sherfield with the key block to help him, get out in front. And then who's the guy?
Hill.
Who's the guy just kind of waving him in?
Yeah,
right?
Hill just
Tyreek Hill just boxing out. He didn't even have to block because Jeff Wilson already had everybody beat. But yeah, Trent Sherfield with the key block right there, to your credit. So that was a great touchdown right there too, man.
No, but honestly, what a great performance today, right? On both sides of the ball. We hardly ever get to see these performances come like to fruition where the entire game, both sides of the ball look good. And this entire game, it looked good because we contained Chubb. Yeah, he did his thing and got a touchdown. It's freaking Chubb. He's nasty, right? But we held Jacoby in check. They didn't really hit us for huge plays downfield. And like whenever the defense needed to make a stop, we got it. And for me, when you don't punt the ball an entire game and you can bring in Skylar Thompson, right, with 4 minutes left in the game, you shouldn't be like, hey, Papa, come out here and have some fun. What a day. What a day.
To me, thank you for bringing up the defense. I'm always the defensive guy, so I didn't want to bring it up myself.
Do you want to handle the Chubber mark? Or I'll let you handle that one. Go ahead. I'll let you handle that one.
No. In the sense of Chubb had 60 yards. We bottled up that run game. Going into this game, I thought it was going to be the defensive line pressure from the Browns, and I thought it was going to be a run game we were going to have a problem with. We bottled up the run game, and the defense didn't have that D-line. It was so smooth. The run game just really helped them just move the game, move the chains, and not bring any pressure in from the Browns. Garrett was non-existent. Clowney was non-existent. I don't even know who that had that sack, so I don't even know.
It was a shared sack between Deion Jones and Greg Newsome. I guess it was a coverage sack when they got him. But you made a great point in those two guys. We checked them completely. Clowney, 1 tackle. Garrett, 2 tackles. And their best player on defense was that Takiti. He had 10 tackles for them. He's basically chasing everybody else, making plays for us.
That defensive line put pressure, and although in the first quarter, maybe into the second quarter, we saw corners getting beat every now and then. Bro, Cooper got shut down. Peoples-Jones is a slot receiver, moving around. He got a couple yards, but overall, you saw the pressure getting there. Whenever Brissett, later on in the game, Brissett would try to get the ball off, and it was knockdown. So
No,
I love to see it.
absolutely.
I love to see it.
I'm right there with you, man. Those were the two things we talked about, right? Was we needed to make sure that our O line stood the test of that D line, and we did. We saw that, so they've been given their flowers for the moment.
Yep.
And then we also said we need to stop that run game, that 1-2 punch that they have of Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And actually, they were the ones that needed to stop our 1-2 punch of Mostert and what's his face, Jeff Olsen Jr. But back to the Nick Chubb play. So yeah, 63 yards on the ground on 11 carries. His longest rush was 33 yards on that touchdown. You take that away, he's what 10 attempts and 30 yards. 3 yards a carry. I mean, our defense really stepped it up as far as our D line, our front seven. And then as the game went on, we just got better, right? It seems like our defense kind of starts off a little woozy, a little shaky at the beginning of the game until like they kind of tighten up, get warmed up, and then the second half is just a different monster. And really, that's what I want. I want our team to be able to close out offense and defense. We need to be able to close out. But go ahead.
No, you finish your thought.
No, I'm going to change the subject, so go ahead and finish if you
just
were going to
real quick on the defense. Like, yeah, we've been giving it a hard time these past couple of weeks, but besides that first opening drive where they scored a touchdown, which they got a bad deal because we gave up, a good return on that special teams play to put them inside our 50 and gave up that touchdown. Everything else was pretty much perfect from the defense today. This is the NFL. You're not always going to shut out teams. You're not always going to keep them to field goals. But this defense played perfect. We saw the tackling get better. We saw the pass deflections get better. And we saw the overall awareness of the defense with the pressure of the defensive line just played great today.
And we had a turnover.
And that's exactly where I was going to change the subject to. So I was hoping you were going to go ahead and bring it into that because you're Mr. Turnover, and you always preach that we need to win that turnover game, right, in order to win the game. And we did that today, man. We had a nice on Chubb. Actually, we were able to punch the ball out on Chubb. I don't know if it was Zach Sealer. Finally,
it was him. Doc. It was him. He's a beast.
It was Sealer. He's a beast, man. He's holding it down. And I remember when we did this run, Martin. I don't know if you remember this, but before. We started the show, I think before we were doing a trial run of this, we were talking about our D-line, who's going to come through. And you had mentioned Raekwon Davis, who has been a little absent. He's a beast. We know what he can do, but he hasn't really been, in my opinion, he hasn't played up to his potential. And
he's more of a plug.
I had mentioned Zach Sealer. I was like, yes, but Zach Sealer's a dog. He's a grinder, and we see plays like this where he stays in. He takes the opportunities that he's given. He makes the most of them, and you see him with a forced fumble here. And wait, who's the guy that recovers it? The ball hawk. That guy that for some reason is always around the ball. Xavier Howard. Hell of a recovery, and yeah, man, we got that fumble right there, which ended up setting up a touchdown for us. So win that turnover battle, win the game.
When you bring up the guy that's trying to make the most out of his playing time, Melvin Ingram, I think they solidified. I think that after the first quarter, I didn't see Agba anymore.
He got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Agba got hurt. I
didn't see that.
Yeah, he went out the game.
All right, so I'm sorry he got hurt, but him being hurt and him being on the field has been the same thing all season. Ingram comes in and it's been looking nice.
Yeah, it's tough because Agba was such a great rusher for pass rusher for us.
For sure, but we've seen the duo of having Chubb and Ingram on the opposite ends working really well. We got a lot of pressure like that. Jaden Phillips had a good game today, providing
Jordan
pressure
Wilkins
as well.
Yeah, Wilkins too. No, great pressure from the D-line all around, and I love the fact that they're switching them up, that they don't just play on one side. They'll literally switch them up every single play back and forth, which causes a lot of confusion for those O-lines that we're going up against. But Absolutely. We also had, on the topic of injuries, I think we also lost a DB, which is a thin defensive secondary that we have right now. It's not good. Who was it that we lost? Anybody know?
I think it was Bethel. I think he went down with an injury.
Can I say something? There's something more important than this whole show. The Bills just lost to the Vikings.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was just watching that right now.
Lost to the Vikings.
So we all just have the game going on in the background right now, and we saw the end of that crazy Minnesota.
Crossing who got hurt. My bad.
It was crossing. All right. Yeah. But yes, like Martin just said, we just saw the end right now on the side, the end of the Bills Vikings game, and the Buffalo Bills have lost at home to the Minnesota Vikings, which means, ladies and gentlemen,
do the Jets play this week?
The Jets are on a bye week. So when the Dolphins head into their bye week this week, we will be in first place in the
73,
East.
baby.
Let's go, baby.
That's so huge, man. Yo, for real, we talked about it a lot on Sports with Soso, and I'm sure you guys talked about it a lot on All Phans. Like, if you think about the impact that this record is going to have for us and what it does for us moving forward with the playoff position and getting a chance to be into serious contention, man, gotta love where the Dolphins are at right now at 7-3, bro.
Hell yeah.
Overall, again, to see what we saw today going into the bye, and I don't want to say because I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I've been wanting this run game all season, and the only reason I've wanted it is because if Tua's legit, we're a very scary offense. Yeah. Very scary.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
And look, today was a big day. I'm sorry to cut you off, Joe, but I got to mention this. You know, we talked about the differential from the defense and the offense last week. We were minus 11. Being after today, we're plus 11. We're definitely trending in the right direction where we wanted to head into heading into the bye week. Defense getting back together, getting that gel, getting healthy, and the offense being able to keep pace. Looking good.
Hell yeah. Boys, before we go to our 3 and out, one thing I want to go around. We got 10 games through already, right, under our belt for this season. That means we've done 10 of these shows of OnlyFans. Give us a grade. Let me hear a grade from both of you guys. I'll start with Sosa. What do you grade the Dolphins 10 games in?
Right. If it's not an A-, it has to be a B+. Because when you look at the rest of the AFC landscape, you got to put the Dolphins as one of the top 3 teams.
Okay, A- for Sosa. I'm gonna go with an A-. Martin,
I'm gonna go with a C+, because it's been 3 straight games. The offenses look great. Hey, bro, I'm just realistic, man. I'm realistic. The offense looked great for 3 straight weeks. This is the first week we see the defense play a lot better. But we have some really good opponents going forward, so that's when I'll see the ultimate test. But I'm happy to see what I've seen, man. C+. Hey, we're better than when we started with. I'm just saying, like what we're seeing last couple of years. Were you really even an A or a B? You were happy to see a B or an A.
Sure, so, and exactly with that exact same sentiment, Martin, is the reason I'm going to give them the following letter grade. I'm going to give this Miami Dolphin team, who is 7-3 through 10 weeks of the 2022 season, which is the best start that the Dolphins have had through 10 games in over 20 years. Okay, 2001 was the last time. I'm going to give this team an A+ right here, right now on OnlyFans, courtesy of your delusional Dolphin.
Yeah,
had it not been for Tua getting hurt and going out that game, the Dolphins are undefeated this season.
I don't know about undefeated, but
we're undefeated.
No, we're not undefeated. We're not undefeated.
Forget about it.
We're not undefeated.
All right, those are
take us to our 3 and out.
We're not undefeated. We're probably 9-1, 8-2, which is still
take us
amazing.
to our 3 and out. So I said what I said.
I was gonna say B-, to be nice, but coño.
Well, you led me there. No, but you did that too. You did it. To your. I was gonna go with a regular basic A, but you disrespect this team, bro, that we love with a C+, bro. Get out of here. I might not invite you back to the show again, Martin.
That shit was
I
might
not, bro.
I was gonna go B-.
I'm not gonna send you the link no more, bro. I'm gonna have to find somebody else to replace you with, bro.
I'm being realistic, man.
That C+ is rough. That C+ is rough. But let's get into 3 and out. Presented to you by Empire Boutique. They're an official sponsor of OnlyFans, and they bring you 3 and out. So check out the Miami Goons. Get your Empire Boutique hat and follow them on Instagram, Empire BTQ. Now, 3 and out is where we bring you our oh shit moment of the game, our unsung hero of the game, and of course our MVP, our most valuable thing. And for this week, our oh shit moment, I'm kicking it with we're gonna go with Martin this time. Martin, what's your oh shit moment of the game?
So my shit moment of the game is Skylar Thompson coming in with 4 minutes left, and not because I'm a fan of him, but because we were able to do that. When you're up that big, your backup quarterback, that's everything's going good.
Yes, sir. What about you, Joel?
My oh shit moment of the game was that 4th and 1 that we went for early on in the game from our own side of the field. Very, very ballsy. Very, very ballsy by Mike McDaniels, but you can see that he has the full confidence in this team and that the team believes in what he's doing.
Absolutely.
We picked up the first down. We were able to keep him moving, and the rest is history. So
absolutely. That's a good call, guys. And my oh shit moment is actually a tongue-in-cheek shout-out. It's for Justin Bethel. He had 2 pass deflections today, which were huge. And this is a guy who we weren't depending a lot of. He's a special teams guy, but stepping in and taking advantage of the opportunity in front of him for him to play some great defensive back today, man, what an oh shit moment, because I didn't expect that from that guy for sure. For our unsung hero, I'm going to kick this one off. For me, it's a guy we've talked about a bunch of times, throughout these podcasts and the episodes, but we got to give him his just due today. That's Justin Sherfield. 4 catches, 63 yards, and a big touchdown. This guy just makes play after play after play for the Dolphins, and he's definitely my unsung hero today. What about you, Joel?
Well, I'm glad he's your unsung hero, and we'll take the moment to say that his name is actually Trent Sherfield.
Yeah,
Trent. I read it
not
wrong.
Justin.
You're good.
But no, I can respect that. We know you're not the best with names. Man,
it's right above each other, man.
I thought you were gonna steal my thunder. I was hoping you were gonna throw me first, but you didn't steal my thunder. Even though I like your unsung hero of the game because we always shout him out. But my unsung heroes of the game is the entire O-line, because they did a phenomenal job, man. And they've been doing a lot better job as the season has been going on. So I really got to shout the entire O-line out. Every single guy that was out there blocking, you guys are the unsung heroes for this game.
Great call. What about you, Martin?
I was going to go with Armstead, but yeah, I guess you're right. The whole O-line, Armstead for me is because he's going one-on-one with Garrett. Garrett had one tackle. That guy was, non-existent. So that's what I thought was going to be the weakness going in, the pass rush, and it was non-existent.
For sure. And the whole O-line definitely, deserves our respect. And, Armstead has made the biggest difference, of course. What a free agent pickup, man. We definitely hit a home run with that one. And finally, for our most valuable Fin, I'm going to kick that one off as well. And I'm going to give it to Jeff Wilson Jr. What a monster this guy has been since we got him here 2 weeks. 17 carries, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Best running back performance we've seen in 10 or more weeks. So got to give it to him, man. What about you, Mark? What do you got?
Wow. I'm going to give it to Trent Sherfield. He honestly, whenever the play needed to be, like we needed a first down or anything, or a big play, he was there. He ended up only the stat line doesn't give MVP type numbers, but when you're moving the chains, you're blocking down the field. He made a lot of those big blocks for those running backs to get 180 yards. I look at the little things, and to me, those blocks became big numbers in the running game.
Great call, Joel. Wrap up the 3 and out with your MVP.
You guys have already seen this coming from a mile away. Number one in the program, number one in my heart. My most valuable Fin, it's got to be Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, the guy, 25 for 32, 285 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, no mistakes. You see his progression every week. You see him put the team, in a position to win week in and week out. It doesn't get done without him, guys. We saw it. He's undefeated this season so far in games that he can play to completion. 3 games that we don't have to at the end of the game, we've lost all 3 of those games. And somehow we've been able to correct that. We're on a 4-game winning streak right now, heading into the bye week. Life is good, boys.
You mentioned the games that he's played in. 7-0, 18 touchdowns, 3 INTs, 71% completion rating, 118 passer rating, 9.1 yards per attempt. Not bad numbers.
Not bad at all. I'd like to see how that stacks up with the rest of the NFL, and I'm pretty sure he's up there.
Yeah, MVP season for sure for him, right?
Yep. Oh, boys, this was a fun one, but we got a break. This is going to be a little odd. We got a bye week next week, so we got a little bit of a break. Maybe we do a one-off OnlyFans to talk some other stuff, or maybe we just take a break to hang out with our family and enjoy a Sunday for once instead of
might happen. We'll see. We're always working.
We'll see. But either way, we'll be back for sure week 11 when we take on the Houston Texans at home again.
They're going down.
Yep, they definitely are. We're going to keep this streak alive. We're going to keep this streak going. Make sure, again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And if you have, drop a like, leave a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know the rest of the story. And on behalf of the rest of the guys out here, it's Joel signing off. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
OnlyFans, but with a PH. You heard? Yo. White orange and teal, the fins look real, you know what's the deal. It's blessed when tears all up in his huddle with water to cook up a meal. My coaching into it, the combo was chill. Play action to chase, got hunger to feel. The cheetah is loose, he's going for blood. The end of the race only went for the kill. Miami, the city, the county, the block. We stadium packed, here getting the lot. Defense is strong and hard as a rock. Holland's a lock, and next one's a spot. Getting too hot, so turn up the fan. You look to the crowd, see Jimmy and Bam. Martin, Joe, and Sosa the mans. Your fellas, roll the clip, OnlyFans.